Okay, so here we are. We are live, supposedly. It says I'm live. Let's hope I'm live. I'm not checking all around. Anyways, working on this HUD system today, and this is a roleplay HUD. It's kind of like GTA. You can be a gangster, a pimp, a prostitute. There's all kinds of roles, and then there is XP for each. There's built-in combat system. Each one of these, this is you can be a hacker, and there's different levels that you build up to. So it has a full XP system, and if you look at the link in the description of the video, it takes you to my site, and you can read about how all this works. I'm not going to get into all that, but so here is the Prim HUD that I designed for something else that didn't work out so well, but it's a good base. So basically with this system, we have lots of different, um, basically right here, here's the gang I'm in, I'm ranked. It tells me how many members are in. This is our treasury. You can have beefs against other gangs. You have to pay coin for it. And you can put hits on other people, and you can put coin on it. And whoever makes the hit, the combat system will know if they have a warrant on their head, will pay them coin. So it has its own ecosystem. And then the coin is actually a cryptocurrency I made, and its value rises as more people populate this game. So that's kind of an incentive. And then we're going to use that coin as our economy to pay for beefs, all kinds of different aspects of the game. Plus, we'll have products that they can trade coin for that will help them build XP. It will unlock things. Like right now, I'm making a for hustlers. I'm making a dice throwing system, and I have this. Another thing is, I had a computer go down, my good computer, and I bought a $300 monitor computer, the whole gaming computer on Amazon, but it's low stats, but it has Windows 11, and I don't really game anymore. I build games. I don't. I do need processing power, and it is going to slow me down for a little bit. But the thing is I want to get a nice laptop, and I'm taking my time researching that. And until then, I figured I'd use this cheap computer. Here's the problem with this cheap computer: it hates Chrome and it hates Firestorm, the two things I use. So I have to use Edge and the traditional Second Life viewer, which is a lot I'm not used to using. So there's a lot of things in here that look alien to me. So I'm just trying to get caught up on that alone. But anyways, here's our scripting base. And today we're going to work on putting a lock. This is the escort menu. I'm collaborating with other products, and there is a system called Mama Elpa here, and I have their API, and I'm not going to allow players to be a escort and exchange coin for services, and they actually can have pimps and join brothels. There's all kinds of crazy stuff in this game. But anyways, they're not going to be able to unlock that unless they own that other HUD, and it will unlock it for them. That way, I can draw players that have products. I'm actually adding like genitals that they sell in Second Life. If you have that, it unlocks this and that. And then combats, like certain guns unlock the combat system. Not just any gun works on it. It has to be a SAT gun to work on my combat system. So basically, what I'm trying to do is pull in as many popular products and make APIs that this works with and unlocks different things they might want to do. Example, if you want to build a gang, you have to pay the 5,000 coin, and then you have to select people, and we have all that. We have, like, you can, there's no one around me to select. So if I wanted to, I could, like, hit a button and it will show anyone around me, and I can get their information, and I can invite them into the gang, and then they have to accept, which will come up on their HUD. Once they accept it, and this all works with a database. We're all streaming, and right now we're working with just a GoDaddy system. Now, if this works out, I'll get an AWS system for it. But when you're doing development like this and small, it's just better to go with like cheap services and see where it goes. If it takes off and you can eke out the money for an AWS system as well as profit in your pocket to fund you, then do it. Otherwise, start out with like a $39 GoDaddy setup, and just get as bare bones as possible. You do need a dedicated server. Like I have to have into the databases, I have to have tables and files and that type of stuff. So you don't want to get like cheap web site hosting. You want web hosting, not site hosting. So you can put it in your own site, which you can see the site that I built there is one that I built. That's not like a GoDaddy website that you'll find. It's quite nice. Um, but anyways, so here we are with our buttons, and so I'm trying to do, and which is sucky about this viewer is normally when I do this here and I hit just a link, the viewer I like tells me the link number. So I had to build a script that tells me it. So I know it's 4. Just kind of catching up to where I'm at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a simple lock. Instead of going into the back and all this crazy stuff, I have an API that shows that they have the Mama Elpa system, and it will send a signal to unlock that button. And instead of going too deep, we're just going to put a general script that says when you push this button, if it doesn't have this authorization that that API puts in, that button doesn't work. Easy enough. You can go ahead and change your character to an escort, but you can't use any of the tools unless you unlock it with that. And that's important. We like I said, we want to tie other people's products into this. And the Mama Elpa lets them get pregnant, screw, and have sex in it and all that stuff. So, and that's another thing. I don't want to deal with an adult product. I don't want to have to get my website to have adult authorization and all this stuff. So letting that type of stuff be within these other products and just kind of making a bridge that make them work with it is a great way to go because then you're not an adult product. Standalone, the HUD just ships data around. It doesn't include any adult animations or choices of. So that really puts us in a good position where we don't have to deal with all that mess too. Along with the guns, I can make guns, but the problem with that is if I allow any gun to work on the system, people also can make guns and they can make easy bullets that have like 10,000 shots in one and just totally screw the system. I mean, and then I have to turn around and put in all these safety defaults for all their cheat and shit, which I don't want to deal with. So if I make example SAT guns only, I know who makes that gun and it's a really good product and there's nothing cheat about it and it just does the job. It's got really nice animations too. I mean, it's the guns that I use, which here I have one on me now. This is a SAT gun, and this is a great gun. It's fully animated, and it has effects like when their bullets hit a body, blood comes out the body. When it hits a wall fragments come out the body. It's all set up. I don't have to do any of that or deal with any of that or have to deal with I shot the gun and it didn't do this or whatever by saying, hey, if you want to play my game, you need to use a SAT gun. Their guns have support that comes with it, and I don't have to deal with anything security wise because I know they can't manipulate the system because doesn't allow you to modify bullets inside of it or any scripting. So they can't. Also, I have it look up like who literally made it and what's in it by key, so they can't get around and like rename it a SAT gun and it's just gonna work. It has to be made by the same person that makes this. So those are tricks that I use though that save me time. But I love this gun. I mean, just as it's when you're walking around and stuff. I got my AO on. It's got the nicest, perfect color animations and stuff. It's nice. See, I mean, when it hits um, wall, you get shrapnel off it. If you hit a person, blood comes off. But anyways, uh, has different bullet types and that type of thing. So, anyways, that's why we use a lot of components that are made by other people. And then we're just worrying about shipping data. And I wanted to add eating to this too, where they have to eat. Because I have a bunch of, believe it or not, I do foods too. And I have all this cool cookware. You can grill food and make food, and it rests on the plates, and you can eat it. It's all animated, and I've actually went through the problem making all that. Normally, it would be like the other ones. I'd find a maker who makes good food, and I put it, but no one does that. No one makes it to the point where I want it. So I made the cooking the food, but I've yet to add that into. That will be the next add is a digestive system. And the problem though we're coming to is we're pretty script heavy as it is. I really don't want to add another script, but there's a few of these that are pretty light. Except for this one. This one is almost a problematic child. This script has too much weight on it. Um, it's just riding the line from stack even. This one, because I said you can be a pimp, you can get girls, all this stuff, but it has a lot less. It just works with the backend database. So there's room in there for me, example, to put a digestive system within there, sneak it into one of these scripts. Everything HTMs and all sound, all listeners go through this one single script. You don't want to have multiple listeners doing multiple things and multiple HTMLs. Everything communicates to this script, and this script communicates with the website and the main system. This is the main board system that controls all of our buttons, and then also the mechanics. There's so much of doing this shit. Like when you make a HUD example, this pop-up thing is hundreds of links that I've put together. Um, that are each different ones, and then they all have to be coded different, named a certain way to get this text to come out here. Um, so there was a lot of mechanics alone in just the way the HUD works that unfortunately adds bulk to scripts. Like, so we try to be as less resource using as possible. So it's not a laggy system. That's another problem with Second Life. A lot of stuff here just sucks and lags. Just the way it is. But I still like making stuff here. Actually, I'll just be honest. I like selling stuff here more than making stuff. I like making stuff anyway. Selling it's much more fun. But anyways, this is where we are and where I'm caught up. And so this button, when pushed, we don't want that to happen unless you have that system, which my little dude here is not going to have that. That's only females have that. That's another thing that separates it. I'm going to hear a bunch of crybabying about that. They're going to say, well, I want to be a male escort. And I'll be like, well, I don't have a system for that. I don't know what to tell you. But I'll run into that problem you want to see. So we know it's like number 4. And what's another thing about this viewer is I hate the way it prints script. It's very hard to read. So here's our link system, and we're looking for just right here. Just add old ifr. First, we'll add a little data. And we'll name that ALOC for alpha lock. And what we'll have is when they wear this add-on that looks for that other HUD, it will send a message to this system and change the data. And see this, a link set data is basically, think of it as a onboard database table. It holds so much characters of data per key. So we'll just have it put in as simple as I will have it just simply change the message. I will start it out by A making a key for it. So we can do that right in here. Hey, look. Easy enough. We want to put that there for now so we remember later about that. And go back down to 4 and let's give it that free advertisement from Mama Elpa where it says and we'll put it on the screen and we'll put it in text. And see, we're gonna sell the link that links them together. That's where my money is. I'm gonna give this away, this HUD, and I'm gonna sell all the add-ons. Like, so if you want to unlock your mom with your mom up, you have to buy the unlock device. You have to own that. That's easy enough on that. I went wrong somewhere. Get a bracket, and all hell breaks loose. So now, when we gotta hit that button, that happens. That happens. Um, these are the simple things we want to lock down. This right there will charge $1 to buy that linkage, and Mama Alpha is only $1. To be honest with you, so $1 for them and $1 for me. It's kind of how to look at it. But there will be a lot of people. There'll be a lot of bucks involved if this takes off that will want to unlock that and use those tools. Because that allows them to solicit other HUDs with actually money that exchanges through the HUDs, and it builds them escort XP, and their pimp gets XP, and their pimp gets some of their coin as well, and that automatically all does that through the back end scripting I have. So it's a tool people are going to want to use, and it's a tool that if they join a stable, which stable is a collection of girls or whatever. I mean, I, there's going to be people that watch this and go, a lot of your terminology, is like human trafficking and looks bad or whatever. That's just the lingo on the streets. This is just a role play game, and these people are not. They choose to join these. Literally, the HUD asks them, "Do you want to join the stable?" Sure. And you have really extreme people here that are into that weird stuff. But at the same time, I totally respect that some people might find a HUD like this quite offensive in the world we live in. Now, we have this where you can tip people around you that have the HUD, and then, of course, you can look up how much coin you have, and then on the websites, like, check it out. I tested booking an escort, and see that as my last use of coin for 10 coins. Um, and then you can buy the coins with Linden. That's my other monetary. The HUD comes with no coins. So if you want to open a gang, you need to come here and buy. And coins are cheap. It's only like $1 to get like 10,000 of them. Everything is based at $1 and very inexpensive. Um, you can change your name, put what's over your head here. It goes by whatever you put for your character. Going live shows people on my website, me, on the Second Life map, and information about me, my profile link to where I'm located right at that moment, if I have a warrant on my head or not. So some people might want not live. And that's pretty much the gist of this HUD. You have simple controls, and then all this is gathering data, and then everything is an add-on. Like I have Street Hustler, the character that you can be, and I'm working on that at the moment, and which is a money system. Um, oh, I really hate this viewer. It's probably going to give me a hard time looking at this. Let's see. So, just pulls out your money, and then it's animated, and then you can throw down certain amounts. So I don't believe I got to that part yet. Um, and then yeah, it throws down. And then I have a craps dice system. So the second person who's wearing their dice HUD will click the cash. Right now it's disappeared, but that will log them in to that cash stack. And if they win their craps game, they get the cash. If they lose, he gets the cash back, plus whatever they put in on it. So if he throws down 500 and you match him 500 and you lose, he gets 1,000. If you get 1,000. Either one of you will get that amount back, and that's the system we're working on now. But I've only gotten to where you see now, where it lays it down to the ground, and you can bet different amounts. Um, ah, I don't want to. Did I put it like that? Nah. It did, didn't it? Yeah, it did send it out. So it's got 500,000. These are what's inside in 100. And so these are the animations. This is the script. Pretty easy stuff here. I mean, it just does what it does. Reses an amount. And this right now is only going to just disappear at the moment. I haven't scripted it to link with the dice HUD yet. And that's where I am on that one, on that part, and that's also part A. So we've got the Mama Elpa done, so now we need to work on that part. But with that being said, this video right here was more of a tester. I'll be back in a few hours to do. I want to do like a 4 or 5 hour long live stream and do the full money system, script it, animate it, and test it. But to do that, I have to first do some stuff in my life. So I will be back later. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.